Oh my god, there's people already here. Hi, how are you? Hi, Kobe, Isaac, I'm Nina, how are you? How are you? So, we are back with Cinderella and Evermore. And this time we are going to start Karma's route, aka Claude. And we are going to do for the good ending. And then we'll see where that lands. At least you know what you did wrong. I hope that now you rest and hydrate. Enjoy your freedom now from work, Zeph. Kobe, the potions were yesterday. Yesterday was potion craft. You were here. Today is Cinderella phenomenon. Mina? Do you know what is coming? Next week, Kobe, next week. Also I'll be switching between these and the other PNGs because I want to use all the PNGs and I have different assets and different assets help in different PNGs. So yeah. You know that was coming, Mina. But let's just go. Mina, still, rest, please. Wait, do I need to click? Oh, I need to click, I forgot. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a princess. She was known as the Ice Princess, named for a frigid heart and unyielding coldness towards others. Yes, please rest, I'm begging you. The princess shunned all who sought to help her. She was scared to go out into the world, so she locked herself up in her palace. Then, one day, the Ice Princess became the victim of the infamous fairy tale curse and was forced to go from riches to rags. As the princess struggled to come to terms with her new life, she met a very special man. The two endured much strife, helping each other overcome various ordeals. In the end, they emerged victorious. You're welcome. The special man towed the princess' ice-cold heart and dried her dampened spirits. The two vowed to love each other for the rest of time, till happily ever after. But what happens after happily ever after? You are resting now. You are not going to hold anything unless it's a plushie or a pillow, and you are going to lay back on your chair, and you are going to just chill. Ho ho ho. If I were you, I would give up now, princess. I hope so. You ought to just surrender, darling. What kind of villain says darling? Viviana, this is where you play along. I take a deep breath, then force myself to glare at him. Yes, please get water, thank you. I'll never succumb to you. I parry Claude's sword, moments after he lands a blow on the edge of my blade. His momentary surprise fades into concentration as he rushes me again, sword raised high. Oh, we start good. We start with a picture already? Okay, that's good. This time, I am unable to parry, and when our swords connect, it is all I can do to keep my stance. Claude's face is inches from mine. Cocky smile lights his face, but his calm is unwavering. That reaction. Use any means necessary to best me. I dare you. At this proximity, I can see the flecks of color in Claude's eyes, the flicker of golden light on gentle green. His eyes will always remind me of this forest. I steal my eyes away from him and glimpse the rest of his body to search for an opening. How should I attack him? Okay, first choice. We are on a sword fight. And Karma had already started teaching us in the previous game how to use a sword. That was how we win in the end, so... And like, when I fought Varg, he never liked it when he used magic on the other routes, so... I believe use magic is the wrong one here. I do have one easy way of gaining an upper hand. Maybe I will not win, but... I smile at him. You've forgotten one very important thing, Claude. Oh? I am a witch, and you are not. You wouldn't. Claude's sword slides past with enough force to make my blades loose in my hand, but my grip no longer matters. My taunt has temporarily caught Claude off guard, giving me enough time to concentrate on my magic. Ice begins to gather on my fingertips. Claude rushes me again with his sword just as I hold up my hand to cast my spell. I am the ice at his feet. When the whiteness clears, my ice has accumulated at the ground, turning the vibrant green blades of grass into fragments of powdered white. But Claude is nowhere to be seen. What? I feel the cold tap of a blade against my shoulder. Before I can turn in place, I feel an arm around my waist and lips close to my neck. I can feel clouds spread on my skin when I laugh. Cheaters never prosper, darling. You told me to best you in whatever way I could. Claude responds by moving his lips down to the nape of my neck and planting a soft kiss there. I stumble away, my fingers tight on the grip of the sword. Claude raises an eyebrow at me and grins. Perhaps if you hadn't warned me about your magic in advance, he might have won. Though even had you won, it wouldn't have been a very fair victory. Whoops. I held out my sword once again, but too late. Claude is already closed in on me again, his blade at my neck. He knows me too well. The moment I became fluttered, I lose all my concentration. He grins at me, triumphant. Really, though? You should have admitted defeat much earlier. He moves the edge of the blade away from my neck and leans forward to brush his lip against my ear. The rest of his words come in a whisper. There is no best in me, Lilo. I can predict you every moment. I sigh. I know when I am beaten, and to fight any more will be futile. Futile? I pull my arm away from Claude with a groan. I almost had you. Almost, but not quite. I groan at Claude's response. He always managed to say such things nonchalantly, without even batting an eyelash. I have just readied my retort when something breaks the silence of the forest around us. I hope we're not interrupting anything. I reel in a place to stare in the direction of a new voice. I am surprised to see Garland and Julian standing a short distance away, beneath a copse of trees. How long have you two been standing there? Long enough to see the thrilling end of that match. You almost had him that time, Princess. I love how we became friends with them and we helped them become a couple. Garen looks at Claude and shakes her head. What? Huh? Garland is a guy, what the heck? A victory this close to the princess' birthday would have been a good gift. I would refuse such a victory. What is the point if I do not earn it myself? Claude grins, spoken with all the pride of a knight. You see, Garland, she would never said such a thing. I know Livina like the back of my hand. I would hope you know your fiancé like the back of your hand. Wait, fiancé, that means we are engaged? I don't remember if we got engaged in the last one. Maybe in the meantime we got engaged, because I really don't remember that. Wait a minute! This is dangerous. This is the dangerous route. I need to check something. I'm not seeing anything, but I believe this might be a dangerous route. This might be a dangerous route. I cannot help but that my cheeks warm at Turin's words, even though I have been Claude's fiancé for the last few months. So he ended up okay, so it's actually pretty recently, okay. Most people do not bring up our engagement so casually. Claude slides closer. I don't have more water. Claude slides closer to me and drops an arm around my waist. You really are so adorable when you're embarrassed. If you haven't begun to tease me, my sword will find your end. Your threats are as sweet as your compliments. He smiles at me mischievously before stepping away and glancing at Julian and Garland. I hope the two of you didn't come for a personal lesson. You know that I have an important matter to attend to, no? I stifle aside. I know just as well as Julian and Garland that Claude has something he needs to pick up in town today. Most likely, it is another gift for me. Claude plans to give me a birthday gift every day of the week leading up to my birthday. He did the same thing last year and the year before that, but this year his first day birthday gift was rather extravagant. I cannot believe that the bouquet of lilies he brought me yesterday had to be delivered on a cart. I wonder what kind of gift he plans to bring on bringing by today. 6 days remain until my birthday, which means that the gifts will become more extravagant from here on out. It is usually the gifts he gives me on my birthday date that is the most heartfelt and special, but I cannot help but look forward to these smaller surprises regardless. His efforts are always showy, and that is what makes them feel like love. Besides, he always puts so much thought into the gifts, extravagant or not. I turn back to this conversation at hand. Tonight are still discussing some sort of training regimen. Exchange goes on for another few minutes before Claude turns to me and smiles. That guy with black hair is Garland. Is one of the few guys that isn't dateable, doesn't have his own route. Is only a friend of us. They are currently dating the blonde girl, Julian. And in one route they die. It's sad. By your leave, darling, I shall rush off to town and pick your gift. I promise that you will absolutely love with this one. Hopefully it doesn't need to be delivered on a cart. Or involve some foreign chore. Or a cake so large it takes 4 people to carry it up the stairs. You two are just jealous you didn't get to deliver those items yourself last year. That cake was made by the best baker in the whole kingdom, and that sure... I cannot help but a laughter that escapes my lips. Deliberately soft-sulking and plants a kiss on my head. He gazes at me with a fond smile before shaking his head. Enough dawdling. I have to go now if I want to make it in time for our designated meeting. I promise I won't be late, Viviana. He grabs my hand briefly before rushing off. I notice that in his hurry he has forgotten to sheath his sword. Claude, your sword! He lets out a soundless sigh as he sheaths the sword and rushes off. Leave me alone with it tonight. Looks like someone's got their head in the clouds. Doesn't he always when he's around the princess? The two glance at each other, some silent amusement flickering between them. Did you come out here just to spy on us? Of course not, Your Highness. We were on our way out of the palace when Princess Emmeline stopped us and asked us to deliver a message. A message? The princess requires your assistance. With what? She didn't provide any details, unfortunately. If she didn't explain what it was for, then it is highly likely that this is about that surprise celebration she wants to throw me. But is it still a surprise if I know what is happening? Garland and Julian glance at each other for a few moments. Some hidden message conveyed in their gaze. Garland claps a hand on Julian's shoulder with a smile. I'll escort the princess back. I'll meet up with you before the hour's up. Julian puts her hand over his, but only briefly, before she nods at him. Don't be too late, otherwise I'll start eating without you. Oh, they are having dinner together. I always love this too. Beside Emmeline and Lama, this is the couple that I'm most interested on. Especially because these two came already from the previous game as a couple, at least on this route. On the other routes, we had a little bit of a hint. Garland slides his hand off her shoulder as she turns to walk away from us. Once she's out of sight, the two of us begin our walk back toward the palace. Garland stops when we arrive at the gate. He turns to me with a bright smile. Here we are, princess. Oh, He looks at me quizzically. I just noticed. You didn't have a knight escort with you today? A few weeks ago, I was able to convince Father that we no longer needed an escort in the forest. I feel it is better that way. It feels more special when it is just Cloud and I there. Besides, I'm the Tenebran bearer, and Cloud is a talented swordsman. We have nothing to fear when we are together. No, the king should be able to fill you in on that situation. Ron looks at me, thoughtful. Then he nods. Mrs. Emily should be in the dining hall. Is there anything else that you require? Nothing that I can think of. You're free to go back to your date. We got him off guard. Karen flushes a crimson red that makes me laugh, despite how discreet and Julian try to be. It is very easy to see that the two of them are courting each other. It has been that way for the last 2 years. I narrow my eyes at him. That was a matter Claude and I discussed with you. Have you spoken to Julian yet? No, not yet. Aaron shakes his head, eyebrows forward. The timing doesn't feel right. I'll propose to her after your birthday party. Or your wedding. But right now we need to focus on security for both of those celebrations. Don't put me first! Go ask her! You two are hardworking to a fault, you know? It's an occasional hazard, I'm afraid. I want to see Love's reaction. I shake my head with a sigh. Dedication is what makes Jordan and Garland two of the most competent knights we have in NGL. After I excuse him, he bows and then turns to walk away. I'm about to walk in through the front gate when he suddenly calls my name. Oh, Princess Diviana, did Prince Claude say anything about when his brother was scheduled to arrive? Oh, right. I had nearly forgotten that Claude's brother Lance is supposed to arrive the week before our wedding. Claude insisted that it came as late as possible. Wait. This is really dangerous road. If we are having the wedding already, if the wedding is happening during this route? Oh. Rod's ending isn't the only one that's going to be 18 plus. I need to be mentally prepared for that. It should be here at the beginning of next month. I need to get prepared mentally. Garland looks at me for a few moments, a troubled expression on his face. Is something wrong, Garland? It's nothing. Garland smiles before turning and walking away. I watch his back, contemplating calling him back. Instead, I find my thoughts turning to the last time I mentioned Lance. I've been sulking all day. Is something wrong? I sit beside Claude on the bed, my hand resting on his knee. He stares at me. My window is gaze glassy. You would laugh. I would laugh at you anyways. Claude's lips quirk slightly before he angles his head toward me with a sigh. You must know, it's my brother, Lance. Yes, Lama. The reason bows sharply. What about him? Did he write something strange in his last letter? Not so much strange as annoying. He proposed visiting NGL 1 week before our wedding for a preliminary celebration. I fail to see the problem. The problem is that it's Lama. He attracts unwanted attention wherever he goes. You've met him before. You understand what I mean. The last time I spoke with Lance was nearly a year ago. He and his mother came to visit Claude and Angel and brought everyone in the palace a terrifying amount of gifts. It was a lot like you. Hmm? I'm offended, darling. We are nothing alike. I am radiant like the sun, and Lemma is... I am radiant like the sun, and Lemma is a magnet. He has a way of stealing the spotlight always. You're worried he'll steal the spotlight from you? Cloud looks at me, disgruntled. I'm right, aren't I? Not at all. I'm worried he'll steal the spotlight from you. I slide closer to him. Cloud, I'll be fine. I do not crave attention like you do. Crave attention? Me? Yes, you. Do not deny it. But you... I put a finger to his lips. You already give me enough attention as it is, and that's all I really need. Cole pulls my hand away from his mouth and gently kisses my palm. He smiles a little sheepishly. If you insist, then I'll write back to my brother and tell him he can come early. I just hope you won't regret this decision. Lance has been very popular in jail ever since he first visited with his mother, but no matter his magnetism, he certainly won't distract the townspeople from a royal wedding. I'm sure that Claude must have something planned for the week before the wedding, and he just not want Lance taking anyone's attention away from it. It'll be fine. I shook my head to clear my thoughts before turning to head back into the palace. The halls are bustling with activity when I enter. Many of the gathered servants and maids stop chattering as I approach. At ease. Aren't you all supposed to be on a break? Ah, princess. We were just enjoying our break outside. I glance around at the gathered staff. I am certain that these people do not usually take their breaks together if they do happen to share the same of time. I see. Have any of you seen Emmeline? The princess is in the dining hall with the royal chefs, princess. I intimated with a little bob of my head before making my way to the dining hall. The dining hall is just as lively as the hallway, if not even more. Appetizing scents waft through the air, mingling to create an overly piquant aroma. I spot Emmeline amidst the crowds, dancing colored liquids in different calices. She raises a calice to her lips just as I arrive before urriedly placing it back on the table.
Oh, Diviana!
They look guilty of something.
Not at all.
I glance around at the different calices. Emmeline's shoulders drop with the fit.
I was trying different cocktail concoctions for your birthday dinner. It was Claude's idea that we mix something completely original for you. I was debating what type of cocktail to make for you. Strawberries and bananas? Something with cucumbers and lime? I feel terrible because I don't know what your favorite flavors are.
That can be helped. I don't think I've ever spoke about my preference with you.
Still, I must make certain that this drink is perfect.
She gestures to the various calices, then points to one at the far end. It is filled with white blue cheese, and has a familiar creature sitting on top of the glass as a decoration. Well, if this was Claude's idea, then I'm not surprised that he's a chameleon to decorate the calice. Years ago, when I first met him, Claude enlightened me with stories of his childhood. Apparently, he has a special attachment to chameleons. Sometimes, when the two of us are practicing together, he even refers to himself as a chameleon prince. He says that he did it to so he could have matching titles, but Chameleon Prince and Ice Princess do not match at all. Sarah the Chameleon Topper. And this is my birthday celebration. Is this birthday celebration really for me? Or is it for him?
I've actually been trying to come up with a name for this, but I haven't thought of anything yet, so I thought it might be nice for you to choose it. It will be distributed in the marketplace after we unveil it at your birthday, after all.
And what?
God insisted that the populace have some way to celebrate with you. Since we're going to distribute it in your name, I thought I'd ask you what you wanted me to call the drink.
Because of since the drink as a chameleon and all that we are talking about chameleon and karma, it feels wrong to call it lily. Like, lily is our favorite flower, but since there is nothing like with a hint of a lily, it feels kind of bad to name the drink the lily instead of the chameleon. Yeah.
Oh, right, lilies are your favorite flower. Maybe we should put a lily on top of the chameleon's head. Or remove the chameleon?
Was it Claude's idea to have the chameleon there? Chameleon laughs.
It was. He said it was symbolic. That since the drink represents you, he had to have something symbolic for him on the glass too, since the two of you are inseparable.
That sounds like something he would do.
And oh, what sort of mixture do you want for the drink?
I'm not picky. Feel free to choose what you will.
Really? Are you sure?
Emily looks at me uncertainly. Are you still trying, drink Sam? The familiar voice makes us whirled in place. Rod stands behind us, lips quirky into a small smile. I step back without realizing. I'm still unused to Rod's changed height, especially with his quiet demeanor. It feels almost like a contradiction. He scowls at me. Is there something on my face? You cast a shadow. They're terrible. Emily just jiggles. Then she claps a hand on my shoulder.
Anyway, thanks for the help, Iviana. I actually had a few more questions to ask you, but I need to figure out this drink before the end of the hour. Good night, Zev. Sleep well. Thank you for the lurk. Rod, would you help me?
You want me to help you taste drinks?
We can both be royal test drinkers.
I don't think nobles test drinks for other nobles. The two of them continue their back and forth banter, and for a few moments I watch with amusement. I've tried my best to mend my relationship with Emily and Rod over the years, and even though the bond we share are not as strong as the bond they have with each other, our relationship is no longer strained. I think I will leave you to your taste testing. I have to meet Claude soon. He insisted on meeting me in my room before he has to run off to a lesson with his history tutor. He speaks of the Punjab history fairly quickly, especially since he just started recently. The psycho visited him to stop hiding from the tutor. Emmeline is staring at Alice with a chameleon topper thoughtfully.
I wonder what sort of gift he'll bring today.
Hopefully it's not a choir. Or some gigantic cake with enchanted candles. There's no way to know with Claude. Surprise is part of a gift.
Well, do not let us know what it is once. Do let us know what it is once you get through the wrapping paper. If it's small enough to fit in wrapping paper, that is.
I nod my head with a smile. The three of us trade quick farewells before I walk out of the crowd dining hall, and back into the corridor. I have barely managed a few steps in the corridor before someone collides with me. The impact pushes me down to the ground. I'm sorry. The man holds out his hand to me. My humblest and most sincere apologies, Princess Diana. Please allow me to help you to your feet. I glance up at the man and frown. I'm about to respond to his apology when I pause, noticing his gentle features. It is impossible not to recognize him. I knew it. When Garland started talking about that, I was like, he's going to appear in it, isn't he? Lance? I stared at him in shock. The light of the sun is angled just right on his features, making everything on his face gently glow. My early agitation disappears completely when I behold his smile. Nice to see you again too, Princess Vienna. And just again, I'm so sorry. I continued to stare at him, eyes wide, his apology barely registered in my mind. I'm not supposed to be here for another month. That I'm not, yet here I stand. I preferred you in the other route. Can we go back to the Lance in the other route? He continues to smile at me jovially. There is an explanation for this, I promise. He gestures again with his hands, a clear insistence that I take it. Oh boy. So, we are going to our bedroom because Claude is probably there with our surprise. And Claude didn't seem to like Llama's attitude. So taking his hand is probably the wrong one. Because I feel like we are going to end up being late for our date with Claude because of Llama, if we take his hand. We'll go just like, oh sorry, I bumped into your brother, and it's like, I told she's going to seal the tension. It's always him. I said it, didn't I? His smile lightens into something even more dazzling as he grips my hand and pulls me to my feet. I have done a terrible thing, knocking over a beautiful lady. Is there anything I can do to apologize to you? To you, you were so nice in the other road. You were so nice for Emily, and you were so cute. What happened to you? I don't like you here. You can let go of her hand. Cloud appears silently behind Lance. His expression mirrored with a scowl. Lance releases my hand immediately. I knock her down, so Yes, yes, I know, the usual story. This is what happens when one is clumsy. Lance smiles, a little sheepishly, before he turns his full attention on Claude. Well, that was all a little awkward, but smiles widened into something somehow both shining and gentle. I mean, I think that is going to be your emote the whole time I'm playing this game. Also, hi boy, Shu, yes, this isn't Disney. This game was never Disney. Smiles widen into something somehow both shining and gentle. Nice to see you too, Karma. Yama? The few people that are in the hallway, including a few of the servants, pause briefly to glimpse at Lance as they pass. They smile when Lance makes eye contact with them. Mina, I feel like you are awake because of the tea and the drama. Last time Lance was here, he had a similar effect. It was a way of sparkling. Cloud does it too, but on purpose. I did not think it was possible before, but I'm fairly certain Lance sparkles without meaning to. Lance's smile fades slowly. I apologize for not writing in advance of my arrival. I insisted I came early to surprise you. By showing up an entire month early? Yes, exactly. Last time I visited with Mother, we ruined everyone's schedule. Father figured that if no one had any time to plan, it wouldn't be imposing as much. That is not very sound logic. I've never met Clotilde's father, but sometimes I cannot help but wonder what sort of king he is outside of the stories I heard. Wait, so in 1 month you are marrying Claude, and you don't know his father, and you've been dating for 2 years already. Huh? Also, I noticed that he's using the rose necklace from the previous game. That's when I gave him. No, it's not sound logic, but it is something father would do. I like surprising people. I'm looking at them, they're really like brothers. I cannot not see it. The two men look at each other for a few moments. Lance looked noticeably uncomfortable with Claude scowling at him. The silence is stifling. I clear my throat. It is good to have you here, Lance. Does my family know that you are here? Oh, already met with King Gennaro and Queen Ophelia earlier. I was on my way to visit Princess Emily and Prince Royal when I bumped into you in the hallway. Oh, and I happened upon Commander Garland earlier. I was watching one of his practice. So that's why I had a feeling. Perhaps Garland met Lance earlier, and that is why he mentioned his name. Did he want to keep all of this a surprise? Lance smiles again. I hear that your birthday is in 6 days, Princess. It will be an honor to attend the celebration. And it will be an honor to have you there, Lance. Anyways, Claude still looks agitated by the conversation. Claude is always unreasonably moody when his brother visits. It tells me that it is sibling rivalry. Sometimes I feel it runs deeper than that. Sorry, I need to tie my hair in a different way. I don't like longer hair. Ah. I had hoped to catch up with you too, but I don't want to interrupt any of your plans. Just did. Cloud sides beside me. It seems to deflate a little, but some of the early tension I sense in him fades away. He smiles at length. The sight puts me at ease. As much as I want to catch up now, I have an engagement. Two, in fact. I steal a quick glance at Claude's hands and realize, belatedly, that he holds a colorful box in them. Is that the birthday gift he mentioned earlier? It is surprisingly small. I figured as much. This is what happens when one shows up unexpectedly at another person's doorstep. In that case, I'll make myself scarce for the hour. If you have the time to spare after your engagements, I'll be in the dining hall. I hear some sort of celebration planning is taking place. I'm having mixed feelings with Lance in this route. I don't know. There's something in him that I'm like, Gives a slight but elegant bow before walking past us, still smiling his gentle smile. It begins. What? The lamb might take over. Aren't you being a bit dramatic? He's your brother. I am dramatic because he is my brother and I know him. Claude sighs. I've had to rearrange the schedule now to make sure he doesn't simply change any of my plans. Plans? Claude shakes his head slightly before smiling at me mischievously. Plans? Whatever are you talking about, Ivana? I nudged his shoulder, but he just laughs at me before sitting his arm on my shoulders with a smile. Shall we? The two of us make our way down the corridor to my room. Thankfully, there are no further incidents in the hallway. By the time we get back to my room, Claude is noticeably more at ease. I take a seat on my bed and as he shuts the door behind him. The day's climax is at last upon us. There is no shore involved in this, is there? Last year I sat down on my bed and the shore started singing a birthday song in the garden outside my window. No shore. This is much better. He sits down beside me and hands me the box, his eyes glimmering with excitement. Claude's excitement is just as much a part of the gift as the gift itself. I always look so happy when he gives me something. And his happiness is contagious. Are you going to continue to make me wait in suspense? Thought this was my gift and not yours. Don't be like that, love. You know how much I enjoy seeing your eyes lit up when you open a gift. I glance down at the little box that is now on my lap. It is wrapped in vibrant red, gold and green. A small card on top reads, "My betrothed on her special birthday week. You are my compass, even in the darkest times." I flushed a little as I plucked the card off and set it aside. Betrothed. It is still so strange to think that we are engaged. Everything feels as it always has. It feels natural. Hi Ash, how are you? I hide the ring on my finger as I carefully unfold the wrapping paper. You could just tear the paper, you know? I enjoy making you wait in suspense. You like to tease me, don't you? I laugh as I pull the wrapping paper and then, slowly, opened up the box that Claude has brought me. Oh, it's a little plushie! This... I'm doing okay. I took the first plush out of the box and stared at it. It is fuzzy and almost completely black with red eyes. and yet somehow it is cute. It was Claude on the Beast form because of the Beauty and the Beast's fairy tale colors. Oh, so cute! I want that plushie. And other plush. I take it out and gaze at its dress and face. It has a little necklace hanging from its neck, a glass slippers on its small feet. I can immediately tell from the hair who it is meant to be. It's me, and I stare at a black beast plush, startled. You? Cloud laughs, looking pleased with himself. But why would he make himself out of the beast to be a beast? You look confused, but certainly you must realize that this gift is based off the Beauty and the Beast. But you... Look, I even gave myself a crown. Oh my... It is such a cute gift. Oh my god. It's so cute, so adorable, man. I furrow my eyebrows at him. You don't really think that you're a beast? Her lips curve into a gentle smile. In the past, yes, but for now, the beast is just a plush. Don't you think it's cute? I glance down at the beast plush again, my fingers on the crown. Past him. I lean against Claude's shoulder and hold up the two plush toys so that I can see them side by side. They're adorable, Claude. I love them. I wrap my arms around his waist and settle my head on his shoulder. Thank you. Better than a shower or a large cake? I debated combining the two this year, you know? I suppose if I had to choose... No, wait, don't tell me. It might just break my heart. I grin at him as he rubs an arm around my waist and plants a kiss on the top of my head. I love everything that you get for me, no matter how small or how grand. I hide the rose locket hanging around his neck and smile. I'd notice me looking and puts a hand on it. More than 2 years ago, he had a rose statue by his heart. Now, he calls the rose locket his heart. I'll get you the whole world if I could, but for now, I hope you don't mind settling for these smaller gifts. I'll never be able to fit the whole world in my room, but I can fit you in here at least, and that's probably the most important thing. Probably? Viviana, I'm offended. I laugh and he leans down to plant a kiss on my smile. You really won't let me skip out on my lessons today? I could think of much better things to do with this time. He raises an eyebrow at me, but I just slide away from him. The Prince of Angel needs to know his kingdom, doesn't he? Cloud stares at me after that, his expression growing strongly somber. For a few moments, I see a glint of melancholy in his eyes. Then he stands up abruptly and fixes a smile to his face. Of course. And then there's also my kid brother to attend to. I'll go speak with Lance. Do not worry about him. Once again, Claude's expression is sullen, but the look is only temporary. He leans down to take my hand, then places a soft kiss at his back. In that case, I'll see you later, my love. He smiles at me one last time before heading out the door. I fall back on my bed, holding the two plushes to my chest. I hold up the beast plush and sighed. The uneasiness I felt just now was my imagination, right? The beast plush does not answer me. I set the Beauty and the Beast plush toys down beside each other on my bed. For a few moments I look at them, thoughtful. Eventually, I move to exit the room and turn my thoughts to brighter things. Karma and Llama. No matter what I do, I can never make a difference. He died because of me. It's all my fault. They have so much gold, and yet they won't spare a single coin. This is... If only I could be rid of him. All he does is take. The voices continue to pound inside my head, like a trapped animal fighting its cage. I become aware that I am in a dream, a nightmare. The moment I realize, I begin to stir. I tend to wake myself up, but stop when I hear another voice at the edge of my conscience. How could he miss me? It's not as if they haven't already replaced me. The voice is familiar, and for a few moments, this is the only echo I hear in my mind. Whose voice is this? I try to listen, but to no avail. The other voices soon press into my mind, making it impossible to hear anything else. Force myself awake.
Good night, Mina. Please rest and stretch.
My heart is beating erratically in my chest, and my head is pounding. I feel faint, even though I have just woken up. I glance slowly around my room, with sleepy eyes, searching for Claude, but he's not here. Ever since we became engaged, he has been sleeping in this room with me. The king was against it at first, and I could not help but be surprised by Claude's bold proposal. Yet, according to him, such a thing is tradition in Brigantia. Still, it took Father many months to agree. In the end, he only relented with the month remaining to the wedding, saying that he found it more acceptable. It's pleasant when I wake up and actually find him sleeping next to me, but there's a small note on the bedside table at his side. He has another morning meeting with my father, it seems. I put a hand to my forehead and close my eyes. In that nightmare. Ever since I became the Tenebrarum Baron 2 years ago, I've been having these nightmares. Our fate tells me that they became milder the more I learned to put them to back of my mind. The voices usually are not so terrible, they drag me under like that. The last time the voices were this loud, it was because I was surrounded by the negativity from somewhere close by. Hi Choco, how are you? I sit up in my bed and turn to look at the beast plush that lies just beside my pillow. That negativity isn't coming from Claude, right? I'm uncertain whether or not it is the truth or my imagination, but even though he is, for the most part, his usual self, there are moments when he feels different. Please drink water, put yourself in front of a fan. There are moments where a smile wavers and a tinge of melancholy comes into his eyes. First time I saw it was when he gave me the beast plush. That was 6 days ago, so today is our birthday. I've asked Claude multiple times if something is amiss, and he always waves me off with a smile. I glance again around the room that we now share. Most of it has not changed, though Claude has added some things, namely a piano that sits in the one corner. He insisted on putting it into the room when he first moved in, and I had no qualms about it, not when I know the playing calms him down. Besides, I do not mind watching him play. Sometimes, when I am in the mood, I play with him. Perhaps I should suggest playing together something later today. I stifle a sigh as I slide off my bed and move to get dressed. A maid arrives to call me to breakfast and then leads me to the dining hall. Breakfast is livelier today, on account of Lance, who sits beside Emily listening to everything the royal family is discussing with a broad smile on his face. Even though the king and Claude are both absent from the table, Lance talks enough for the both of them. In fact, ever since he arrived, Lance has somehow managed to put himself in the spotlight for every family meal. He does not start conversations on his own, but he's always quick to respond, and usually with a smile. He seems inherently interested in everything that he hears. It is amazing to me that he managed to be so animated and attentive so early in the morning. My thoughts are preoccupied during the breakfast, hovering somewhere between Claude's duty and my own. I listen while I eat, sometimes nodding along with the conversation. I have almost cleared my plate when Lance speaks directly to me, shouting me out of my reverie. Have you ever spoken with the witches in Brigantia, Princess? I look up and blink, trying to piece together what he might have been saying. The witches from Brigantia? Claude tells me that you interact with many witches because of your position as a Tenebran Baron. He puts a hand on his chest and gives me a slight bow. And then sitting down in front of a half-finished breakfast plate, managed to make the motion look somehow dignified. I must stress that, as always, it is an honor to be in your presence. What a fool. You should be already used by now, Boshu. I cannot help but smile at him. Most of the time, being a Tenebran Baron is more an ordeal than a blessing, but I have learned to appreciate the responsibility. Please, Lance, there is no need for that. I shook my head. And no, I do not usually speak with Brigantian witches. I usually have no reason to, unless there is some kind of an upset. From what I have heard, though, the witches in Brigantia are content. There are still incidents involving witches in NGL every so often. But thankfully, those incidents have been so under decline last year. It does seem that way, though I cannot say with absolute certainty, because I do not have many witch acquaintances. Lance's eyes brighten. He seems to be lost in memory for a few moments. Then he speaks up. Many of the witches I do know have visited the castle to perform extraordinary magical feats. Mother has a few witches acquaintances that help her decorate her midnight parties with enchanted objects.
Midnight parties?
Emily looks at Lance in wonder. Mother's a bit of a night owl, so she throws many parties at night. She refers to her weekly evening celebrations as midnight balls.
Ah, that sounds lovely.
They are quite lovely, if not a bit overwhelming at times. But I suppose that's to be expected. Brigantia is known for its animated nightlife. It's sleepy when the sun is still up and lively when the moon rises. The balls are practically special nighttime celebration with renowned performance. One year, when Claude and I were still young, my mother invited a witch whose specialty was magical gardening. Magical gardening? The witch conjured an entire field of colored roses.
That's...
Lance laughs. Suffice I'd say, it's left quite the impression. I think we learned to appreciate roses a lot more after we were gifted an entire field of them. I wonder if such showcases are part of the reason Claude loves roses so much. I think of the rose locket and smile. What sort of magic do you specialize in, Princess Diana? I look at Lance, momentarily perplexed. Laura taught me shields and ice first, so I probably am most comfortable with those spells, but I do not consider them my specialty.
Diana is very good with ice. She made a sculpture of Claude once for his birthday.
And Wayne? Lance stares at me with clear impress. You made a sculpture out of ice? That's amazing. Claude thought it was amazing too, even if I could never get his features right. He teased me about it for a long time afterwards, but he was definitely stressed when I set the sculpture outside in the sun so that it would melt.
There's a broom here that she animated to clean all of its own.
No, Mr. Broom is entirely Lawrence and Parfait's fault. Wait, so Mr. Broom came with us? Oh my god. I did not want to bring it here at first, but in the end, agreed to it because the thing wouldn't leave me alone when I visit the tavern. I brought it here and tweaked the enchantment on it so that I could sweep on its own. Now that list, Laura can renew the enchantment on it just to tease me. Rod looks up from its plate, eyebrows raised. A little more than a year ago, Diana created a light show in the dining hall. There was electricity bouncing everywhere. That lightning spell was a difficult beginner's spell. Lance laughs, looking delighted. So you are a master of all trades. I don't expect anything less from the Tenebran Baron. It is a shame that you can't come to Brigantia for a long enough time to meet with the witches there. They speak of you fondly, even if they cannot see you often. They do. Most certainly, that is surprising. But perhaps I am making more progress with everyone than I first thought. I think about what Lance said about my inability to visit Brigantia. Fortunately, I cannot live in jail for a extended period of time when I am the Tenebran Baron. I have to remain in the kingdom because I am tied to the crystal, but my thoughts shift to Claude. He has gone to visit Brigantia a number of times without me, but I know that he said I cannot join him. Because of my own position as Tenebran Baron, I could not never go to Brigantia and become a princess there. That is the reason my wedding engagement with Claude will make him a crown prince of Angel. It is also the reason Claude was forced to step down as a crown prince of Brigantia and the title over to his brother. Lance breaks through my thoughts with a question. May I be so bold to ask you for a demonstration? I'd be happy to tell you more about Claude if you would show me some of your magic. Ophelia, who had been quietly listening in on our conversation, suddenly stands from the table with a smile. I leave you all to it, then, but please, no electricity, Miss Shaps. I am more than capable of controlling my electricity. Ophelia just smiled at me in embarrassment before excusing herself from the table. Magical demonstration. I am still considering what spell to cast when the doors to the dining halls will swing open and Claude walks inside. He looks somehow downtrodden, his expression broody. Karma, you come just in time for the princess magic demonstration. Claude turns and looks at me quizzically, expression softening. Then I have arrived at the perfect time. Keeps walking until he is standing behind my chair. I am relieved to see his initial stress completely disappear from his face. I turn my gaze to the rest of the table. Everyone is looking at me expectantly. Spell. Should I do something that I'm comfortable with? Something new? So we know how Claude likes roses. This feels like a lot of... So far it feels a lot of options are between me or Claude. And the obvious answer being Claude. So... I'm afraid. Let's cast another spell. My spell is always a safe spell. I scoot my chair back so that I have some space in front of me. Then I extend my arms and concentrate on the flow of magic beneath the surface of my skin. It took me a while to master this concentration, but after 2 years of practice, I have become quite adept at basic magic. I gather the ice at my fingertips slowly but surely. Lance is staring with wide eyes while Claude looks on with a strangely mischievous smile. I'm getting nostalgic already. Nostalgic? Vivian has tried more than a few times to best me in a sword fighting with our eyes. I begin to form the ice into a shape with my fingers. She never wins when that happens, of course, because she turns. I turn and hold the object out, waiting at his chest. A sword crafted out of ice extends from my fingers, frozen in front of Claude's chest. Never prosper. A nice sword.
Oh, this is definitely new.
It has a surprising amount of detail. What do you mean surprising? Claude grins at me before putting his finger onto the edge of the blade and lowering it from his chest. How very charming. It would not be so charming if I ran it through your heart. One stares at me in shock, but Claude just laughs. I don't think having my heart broken by my fiancé would be so terrible so long as you can mend it for me again. The two of us exchange a smile before Claude leans down to inspect the sword. It would be a shame to have such a beautiful sword get chipped in practice, though. I shake my head and lower the sword. The ice is already beginning to magically melt, crumbling into small flakes. Beauty, is it? Beauty is, as I say, ever so fleeting. It was amazing, Divana. Your magic is beautiful. And fierce. Sometimes too much. Much so. As Call. You make it sound like my magic is aggressive when it is not. I barely have any reason to use my magic in first place. Most of the time, I only use it for convenience. And then, I sometimes use it to make gifts for Claude, just to upstage him. Lance thanks me again for the demonstration before excusing himself, and the man rushed off for extremely important plans. Rod eaves out a great sight before eventually following after them. I hope they are not trying too hard for my birthday celebration tomorrow. I remain with Claude while he eats a late breakfast, and then head out with him when he's done. I know that our time together will not last long. Claude has to take off another lesson, and I have a meeting with my father. It is another discussion about the implementation of new laws in Angel. After an exchange of farewells, we separate and go our own ways. The day turns out to be busier than I had anticipated, except for a short hour break in between. I barely see Claude. He managed to give me his gift for the day in between our responsibilities. It is a feat for my eyes. A simple yet elegant blue dress decorated with lilies. Claude is good at selecting dresses. Given his prior experience with them, the king always seems surprised when I tell him that Claude helps me compile my wardrobe. I know I will have to wear this dress sometimes as well. This thought hangs in my mind as I continue about my business. The rest of the day passes in a blur. Even the evening moves quickly. I have enough time to sit down to dinner with my family before I have a meeting with a witch from town. By the time I am finally able to head back to my room, it is 9:10. My body feels incredibly heavy, and all I want to do is crash onto my bed. I have just turned to the band in the corner when I hear soft music coming through the walls. I stop to listen. Bob must be playing the piano. Strange. Usually does not play if I am not there to play with him or watch him. I walk the rest of the way to my bedroom, then push open the door quietly so as not to disturb Claude. So pretty. This image is really pretty. Oh my god. Let me screenshot it for Mina. Let me just check something. What did I do that? Did I do this? Good thing it doesn't say anything about my name. Let me check how it appears on. I don't know where that went. I really don't know where that went. Where are the screenshots? Image? No. Image. No. No. Where the heck? I didn't even know how to took the. Oh, I took that screenshot. Yeah, I'm lost. The music wafts out from the room like a gentle breeze. The minute I step inside, I see Claude at the piano. Fingers, sorry. The music wafts out from the room like a gentle breeze. The minute I step inside, I see Claude at the piano, fingers gliding across the keys to create the beautiful sounds and emanating from the instrument. He's immersed in his music that he does not notice when I step inside and shut the door behind me. He looks sullen yet at peace. He looks sullen yet at peace, his eyebrows drawn in concentration as he focuses on the keys. Even as I watch, the rigidness of his expression begins to crumble away into a gentle smile. The song is beautiful. Will I break his concentration if I move to sit beside him? Why she doesn't need to know. She doesn't need to know. Join him at the piano, patiently wait for the song to end. Join him at the piano, question mark. Wait, what did you say before? I plan to join him next time he plays. I think that was what we said. 。 So I'll take that as a hint for the good ending, for the best ending. So patiently wait for the song to end. I think I would like to hear the song to its denouement. I will wait. I situate myself by the door so I can give myself a better vantage point. Cloud continues to play for a long time, his fingers effortlessly gliding across the keys. I can tell by the way he stares at the keyboard that he is lost in the music and does not realize that I'm there. It is only when his eyes begin to wander to the music sheet in front of him that he loses focus and notices me. At first, there is surprise on his face, and then a gentle smile. Much to my relief, he does not stop playing. His eyes stray from me again as he continues to study the music sheet. Seeing him so involved in the music makes my heart lighter. Whatever melancholy I sensed on him before is gone when he plays. This time is important to him. I don't want to end it abruptly. You're so quiet, Viviana. Starstruck by my playing, are we? Maybe. Though I believe my skill with the piano is equal to yours. Oh, is that so? Claude chuckles as he pulls his hand away from the piano keys. The music stops abruptly and the room is awash in a serene silence. I consider moving to sit beside Claude, but then he has already scooted the edge of the seat. He sets his arm down at the piano, angles his head slightly, smiling mischievously. I feel like a criminal caught in the middle of a crime. A criminal? Playing without an audience always makes me feel that way, especially when my audience pretends to be invisible. I didn't want to disrupt your practice. I look at him, curious. I haven't heard this song before. I want to see if I recognize it. But it was unfamiliar. I wonder if this was a song you learned back in Brigantia. What song were you playing? I wonder. Is it really necessary to keep it a secret? This song wasn't meant to be a surprise for tomorrow, was it? Claude just looks at me with his lips curved into a cat-like smile. I'm going to assume that is a yes. I move to sit down on the edge of my bed. If you're in here playing, I'm assuming that you are done for the day. Claude lets out a sigh as he leans dramatically back on the piano, one arm draped across his surface, the other one resting on his forehead. I'm afraid the night still has yet more excitement for me. Is it a meeting with father or assignment for your history tutor? Claude scoffs at me. I'll have you know I'm on top of my assignments. I am just as excellent a pupil as I am an instructor. Your ego knows no bounds. It's confidence, love, confidence. Claude sighs as he stands up and stretches. Afterwards, he turns to look at me. I'm afraid I have certain plans for tomorrow that I must check on. Plans for your birthday party? You really don't need to work so hard for me, Claude. Much to my surprise, Claude's smile slips, his expression fading into something more somber. Always work hard for you, Viviana. I'll do anything for you. That will never change even if I cannot be. He stops silently, his lips sealed. You cannot be what? Claude looks at me, startled for a few moments, steps back, through the door, then abruptly begins to laugh. Never mind me. I'm a tired man says a lot of particular things. Wait a minute, what did he say? It is weird. When he smiles, he looks is once again melancholy. It is a sad smile. Cloud, are you okay? Yes, Ivana. I'm just a little tired. Don't look at me like that. I'll be fine. Come tomorrow morning. But he stops in front of the door and on the knob. Yes, darling? You remember that we promised there would be no secrets between us, right? I'll never forget a promise I made with you, Ivana. He says the words with enough conviction that I cannot help but be relieved. This is just a passing stress, I promise. I nod my head, relenting. Now, I regret to say it, but I'll be a little late tonight, so don't need to wait up for me. He blows me a kiss. I love you, Diana. Good night. Good night, Claude. He sits out through the door and closes it behind him. Once he is gone, I fall back down on my bed. My eyelids flutter closed. My body welcomes the softness of the sheets and the comfort of my pillows. I wonder if there's some way to figure out why Claude looks so sad. Someone that could tell me how to help him when he's like this. The question rolls around in my mind for a while, but it is not long before the desire to sleep overwhelms my worry. Not long after I close my eyes, I find myself drifting away into slumber. When I next awake, my bedroom is dark and quiet. The first thing I am aware of is my heart, which is beating painfully against my chest. Another nightmare. I put a hand to my forehead as I glance around my room. I notice that Claude is lying beside me, undisturbed. The gentle rise and fall of its chest, along with the soft breathing, tells me that he's asleep. I find the clock in my room and stiffly aside. It is just past midnight. I have no idea how long Claude has been asleep, and I do not want to wake him. Sometimes, when the nightmares are terrible, I end up waking Claude to discuss them with him. Other times, when I'm sure he needs the rest, I do my best to forget the nightmares on my own. We do some fresh air. I quietly slide out of the bed and make my way through the door. I glance over my shoulder at Claude one last time before quietly stepping outside and shutting the door behind me. The palace corridors are quiet at night, save from the muted footsteps of the patrolling knights. At first, I am at loss for what to do with myself. I could sit in the garden, or I could walk through the hallway until the voices fade. My legs begin to move on their own. Every step sends me down the hallway and closer to a branching corridor. I am not entirely sure where I am heading, but I tell all of the knights I meet on my way that I am only wandering for some peace of mind. I have just moved into the conjoined corridor when I see a familiar face. Princess? Ren stops in front of me. her eyebrows drawn together in a clearly anxious expression. Good evening, Julian. Good evening, Your Highness. Couldn't sleep? It has been a restless night. Are you still working? For a little while longer, yes. What about you? Just taking a midnight stroll? I bumped into Jern quite a few times on these aimless night strolls, and she always worries. I was. There is no cause of concern. You say that, princess, but any royal's actions are concerned to us knights, and now I have to keep my eyes out for both you and the prince. The prince? God is also up? Oh no, Prince Lance of Brigantia. He was out here earlier murmuring to himself. That is a little strange. I saw him head into the dining hall last. I sent a few knights over that way just in case. Perhaps he just left his room for a midnight snack. Claude used to be up at midnight all of the time when he first came here. Sounds like typical Brigantia lifestyle. Anyway, if you need anything from me, I'll be on patrol for a little while longer. Don't hesitate to call me, princess. I'll not. Thank you, Julian. Julian tends to walk away, but then pauses to glance over her shoulder. Oh, and princess? I hope we all get to practice together again soon. Yes, I hope to too. It has been a long time since all of 4 of us have been able to practice in mock battles. And flashes me a small smile before she strides away from me to continue her patrol. I'm thinking, when we were having that nightmare all the time, they were like they already replacing me and everything, and that voice sounded familiar. I'm thinking about Karma, but there was other things that I was like, wait a minute, is that both Karma and Lance's negativity coming to us? Is the witch that cursed the fairy cursed Karma? Because Lance was murmuring, according to Julian. Is the witch that cursed Karma using Lance for something? Because Lance here and the way he's acting is really weird. If Lance is up right now, perhaps I should go see him. Without another thought, I began to make my way into the dining hall. Sure enough, the first thing I noticed when I stepped into the dining hall is Lance. He's sitting up the head of the dining table, his hands clasped as if in prayer. He's murmuring something beneath his breath. Lance? Lance glances up at me. Bewildered. This shock almost makes me feel guilty. Did I interrupt something? No, not at all. This sounds sus. He lets out a deep sigh, his shoulders sagging slightly. A weight seems to fall off them as he does so. And when he looks up, he once again exudes his usual cheer. I was wandering around the palace when I noticed the dining hall was empty. I wanted to sit down for a few moments to practice a speech, but he looks down at the table. The downcast expression takes me by surprise, as it is very uncharacteristic of the usual very charismatic Lance. Sometimes I get so caught up in memorizing that I forgot about everything around me. I'm sorry. There is no need to apologize, but you're practicing a speech? For whom? It's fine. You don't need to speak about it if you do not want to. I'm about to head out again when Lance calls my name, making me stop. Have you ever given a direct speech to the people, Princess? Before, I used it to shun people. I disliked going anywhere near them. Since breaking my curse, however, I have learned to open up to the townsfolk. The king has me address them directly on our monthly rides out to town. Of course. I see. If you're asking me that question, I'm assuming that is because you are practicing a speech for a big audience. And smiles a little half-heartedly. I was. The moment Claude became engaged to you, I became next in line for the Burgundian throne. Father has been waiting for me to give a speech officially announcing myself as Burgundian Crown Prince. The moment Claude asked for my hand in you can see it on my browser. Yeah. Already saved. Oh. It's again between us and Claude. If we go to Claude, they can resolve their problem. That's a good thing. If we help him, Claude might get mad at us. And we may just get Claude more reason to like it. You are just falling for his thing of attention and blah blah blah. So... Princess, you don't need to go out of your way to offer assistance. He shifts uncomfortably in his chair. Once again, I am surprised by his discomfort. I always assumed Lance spoke to people with just as much ease as Claude. He attracts as much attention, and I assumed that he was used to crowds. I'm offering because I have experience, and because I may be able to provide some assistance. Half of the reason is this obligation now rests on Lance's shoulders because of me, after all. Princess, that is very kind of you. He smiles gently. I'll most definitely appreciate your help, thank you. And in exchange, he looks at me at a loss. Is there anything you'd request of me? You told me earlier today that you would tell me more about Claude after performing magic for you. Oh. Well, if you want embarrassing childhood stories, I'm more than happy to oblige. Lance laughs. It is such a carefree and happy sound that I cannot help but laugh with him. There's a deal then. What the... I don't understand. Oh. Lance looks at me, wide-eyed. What is it? It's past midnight, isn't it? I'd almost forgotten. I don't know what happened either. I opened browser, and it was working for me, but... Forgotten? To wish you a happy birthday. Oh crap. Karma is not going to be happy about it. The smile Lance gives me is so shiny, it almost sparkles. Very blessed happy birthday to you, Devian. May both your eyes and your days be filled with endless cheer and good company. Thank you, Lance. If Claude knew Lance was the first to wish me happy birthday, he would cry. We have in that game, the previous character that I was doing the routes was white hair. You missed that version. And I think that in this route he's dead. The thought makes me smirk. My conversation with Lance is cut short after that when, at one point, instead of responding to him with words, I respond with an unintended yawn. I excuse myself first at night to relieve that my conversation with Lance has helped clear the nightmares from my mind. I'm sure that Lance will be able to solve his problems with help. As for my problems, I push the thought of Claude's melancholy smile from my mind. Now, it is better not to think about it. Claude wants me to enjoy my birthday celebration without worrying about him. So for now, I'll set aside these worries. I walk back to my room feeling a lot lighter than I had when I first left it. Lilies and roses. Is just me, or is Cloud's chapter longer? The hallway is lively in the night morning, but I barely pay attention to the servants. I pass as I make my way through it. These servants notice my hurried pace and stare after me, no doubt curious as to why I am rushing down the halls. I ignore them. What reason could Parfait have for summoning me so late? I was awoken this morning by a knock heralding a letter delivery. It was marked as urgent, and had been sent by Parfait earlier today. Parfait prefaced it with an apology, then explained that she and Laura had something that they needed to discuss with me. Apparently, it cannot wait. I hadn't planned for a late breakfast today, so I could sleep in too. Claude was already gone when I woke, and I was expecting as much considering today's my birthday, and he has been the one heading the plans for it. I've already told my family that I will be missing breakfast on account of Parfait's letter. They have yet to see Claude. I turned to the corner in a rush, and only barely managed to stop myself from colliding with someone coming down from the other side of the wall. Is that Lance again? Oh, thank goodness it's Claude. Viviana. I step back from Claude as he stares at me, looking flustered, as if two had been running. I heard that you were leaving the palace for some personal business. Parfait sent me an abrupt letter this morning saying that she had something to discuss with me. Claude looks clearly disgruntled by this news. On your birthday? Oh. He silently falls to his knees and claps my hand on his. I'm startled when he presses his lips to the back of it and smiles. A very happy birthday to you, my beloved. Oh my god, I still click. My beautiful Diana, my love, my sunshine, my beautiful betrothed. The greeting is so familiar I cannot help but blush. Claude cocks an eyebrow at me as he stands. He leans forward and plants a quick kiss on my lips. Alright, now that I've done what was necessary. He looks at me again, disgruntled. They're really doing this on your birthday? Apparently so. Claude grunts a response before shrugging his shoulders. If that is the case, he takes a step toward me, Would you allow me to accompany you? I had something special, a special planned for breakfast, but if you cannot be there, I would at least rather be by your side. I can leave early to make sure that things here are taken care of. Was he rushing to catch up to me for that reason? But if you tag along, won't he be even more pressed for time? Ah. Ah. I feel like Claude is willing to go to whatever he can do for us, even if that is going to stress him out. He's like, I don't care, it was worth it either way. So if we just make him tag along, he's just gonna be happy. Did I save? You're busy enough as it is, aren't you? I won't be gone long. But Viviana, no buts. I smile at him. What is it that you always say? Distance makes the heart grow fonder? I retract that statement. Distance is a small torture. There is no need for dramatics. I should be back within a few hours. I'll see you then, Claude. Claude and I part after that. Once alone, I continue my trip down the corridor and out toward the gates. The town is lively today, but still not crowded as it is in the afternoon. I really do feel bad that everyone went out of their way to eat breakfast so late on my account. I told them it was for some important meeting with Parfait, but still. What could be so urgent she had to call me out here now? The walk through town is mostly uneventful. I'm relieved that no one goes out of their way to speak a birthday greeting to me. When Emily mentioned Claude wanted the townsfolk to celebrate with me, I was half worried that they would rush me when I came out of the palace. Yet the town is as it always is, which is a great relief. I greet people respectfully when they call out me, but otherwise keep to myself. I was close to the Martian when I stopped, during a conversation that piques my curiosity. I do wonder whatever happened to her. She was just here one day and then gone the next. Beautiful, mysterious woman tends to do that, I suppose. Is that about Karma being dressed up as a woman? She was mysterious, wasn't she? It's been years since she was seen. Maybe she really was just a fairy passing by. Or perhaps a witch. Her beauty was mesmerizing enough that she seemed more than just a human. She had a rather mysterious name too, didn't she? Miss Karma? I knew! Miss Karma? I continued to walk, my eyes now on the Martian. I wonder how the town folks would feel if they realized that Miss Karma somehow became the crown prince of Angel. It did. Feels like it would be putting it immediately. When I finally arrived at the Martian door, I stopped, relishing the nostalgia that comes over me. I do most of my magic practice at the palace and forest now, which means that I barely have reasons to come to the Martian. Years ago, this place was lively, always crowded with thrones who were seeking to break their curses. Ever since I became the Cinderella bearer and dispelled those curses on my own, the place has become significantly less busy. Now, it is just a normal tavern, though I hear many of the previous curses still come here. I put my hand to the door and pause. It feels as if the Martian is holding its breath. I should make this quick. It's almost noon and I cannot miss lunch as well. I turn the knob and step inside. I'm expecting quiet and serenity. The moment I step foot through the front door, there is a loud outburst and sound from every direction of the room. Happy birthday, Princess Diana! Huh? The words are only the primary greeting. After them comes a shower of petals that fall from the ceiling. I realize as they fall off my feet that they are white. Lily? Petals? I stare at the sight before me with wide eyes. Oh my god, I can see it. The Martian is mostly unchanged, except for a few flourishes here and there. Lilies line some of the shelves, and I can see through the doorway that the tables in the tavern area are decorated. Finally, I notice a group of the people gathered by the door. I live for moments like this, where I can see our ever so excited princess stand into silence. One would hope that she would find the surprise party surprising. I came here for urgent business. The words leave my mouth before I can even think them. My cheeks are warm and my head is spinning. Across my arms, my face so flushed with embarrassment. I'm so lost in my own shock that I do not notice when someone steps out of the crowd and takes my hand. Claude's lips are curved into his usual mischievous smile. Surprise, Diana! I thought you were working on plans at the palace. War being the keyword. He winks at me. I step back, my cheeks slightly flushed as I take the sights around me. I step into the room, surprise finally sinking in. I look around and see familiar faces I haven't seen in a while. Evermore surprised my family and Lance are among them. I saw them all before I left the palace. How did they get here? When I ask for explanation, I am told that the royal family was transported to the Martian by waltz, use of the transportation spell. I don't know what happened in this game, but they just forgot the tunnels below that link the Martian to the castle. I don't know what happened. They just forgot the tunnels. Everyone else had been gathered in the Martian before that, making arrangements and setting up the impressive array of food I can see in the tavern area. Although the venue is smaller, it is more comfortable. It's so much nicer than a grand party at the palace, and formalities are required. I much prefer the nostalgia of the Martian to the stiff royals. I am led as the guest of honor into the tavern area. There is, sure enough, a banquet set out on all of the tables. Some of my favorite foods are on the menu, and it is impossible to miss the drinking fountain. Is that?
A drinking fountain filled with a special birthday juice, princess.
There are fancy goblets laid out just beside the fountain, already filled with the concoction. The goblets on their own are not stellar, but I recognize a chameleon topper. So this is the juice that Emmeline was tasting in the dining hall. Emmeline moves the stand in front of the drinking fountain. A bright smile on her face. I notice Lance standing with her. More likely than not, he has been assisting her with this since he arrived. Emmeline gestures to the goblets and the drinking fountain behind them.
I present to you the Vienna special drink, the Lily.
There is a round of applause followed by some murmuring. Only it is upon further inspection that the chameleon topper the drink now has a small lily placed on his head.
Oh, it's adorable, but is there a reason there's a chameleon on it?
I'm going to assume that represents a certain spoiled princeling. How rude.
Well, I still think it's precious.
Because chameleons are precious. There is never a dull moment in this place, is there? Everyone scatters in different directions at that point. Some make their way immediately to the food stables, while others begin to engage in conversation. It is a small get-together, but the people here are all comfortable enough with each other that it is easy for them to converse. Somehow, even despite the fact that the royal family should look out of place, they do not. Maybe it is the fact that they have already met everyone at the tavern before at the palace. Even Lance at is. I am just about to make my way over to the large food display when a familiar voice stops me in my tracks. It's been too long, Princess. I missed seeing your radiance call. Every time I think it's changed, this happens. Chevalier laughs when I frown at him. And there it is. I'd much rather see you smile though. It is your birthday after all. 2 years ago, when I lifted the Chevalier's curse, I remembered that he was a doctor. He became more serious after that, and went back to his work with a commitment that surprised everyone. I heard that because his clinic is closed, he visits the Martian often. How have you been? I've been well, Princess. I have to thank you for your recommendation a month ago. My recommendation? Recommended my clinic to a renowned nobleman, Lord Simon, was it? One recommendation led to another, and now I have an influx of patients. I found out not long ago that Chevalier frequently refused gold from people out of his own selfishness. Because I could not convince him to take the gold, I recommended a nobleman to his clinic instead. Now he has no reason to refuse payment. It is my pleasure, but please, make sure you keep some of the gold to yourself. I hope you won't put Diviana's effort to waste with your selfishness again. Klaus silently stands beside me, with a scowl on his face. A pleasure to see you too, Your Highness. Both men frown at each other. For some reason, they are still cursed with each other. But do they really need to act like children? Oh, Diviana. One suddenly appears at Chevalier's other side with a bright smile. I came to ask... Oh. He looks like Chevalier, who is staring between him and Claude with wide eyes. There's two of them? Oh, there... Huh? No, wait. There's two of you? Lance laughs. I'll be Claude's brother, yes. I am Prince Lance of Bugantia. It is an honor to meet you. An honor? You are the renowned Angel Doctor, Chevalier Dumont, yes? The reputation precedes you. Chevalier eyes Lance skeptically. You know me? And more importantly, you're being nice to me? His eyes flicker between Claude and Lance. Lance looks at him perplexed. He looks a little at loss. Claude, on the other hand, is just staring between the two of them unimpressed. Oh, it's a 3 choice? Oh, crap. Gosh. Okay, so remain silent is right, so let's just assist him. Lance may be Claude's brother, but his opinion of you has yet to be formed. My brother doesn't know much about your character. Chevalier says, Princess, you hear what he has to say about me, and yet you don't scold him? I'm offended. I've simply given up on you two. Lance laughs jovially. Even the bitterest enemies can become friends if they find something in common. I have faith. Ever the optimist. Claude turns to me and raises an eyebrow. He leans closer to me and whispers in my ear. You really don't need to assist my brother. He can handle himself. If everyone keeps spoiling him, he'll never learn how to be independent. Continues mumbling to himself, looking irritated. I cannot tell if he's worried about Lance or not. Chevalier and Lance seem to become a bit more comfortable with each other after the interruption. Claude pulls me away while they continue conversing. Well, at least someone gets along with that man. Everyone except you. Claude shrugs. Some things do not change. We part ways after that, Claude going to speak with my family while I make my way through the Martian borders. Princess. Paul strides past the conversing Lance and Chevalier to greet me. If it isn't Angela's favorite magician. Favorite is a bit of an overstatement, but thank you. How have your lessons been going? I assume they have been a success, as you haven't made my last 3 lessons with Laura. I was actually going to apologize for that. There's no need. There are young witches who cry or conceal a lot more than me. Shortly after Walt's curse was dispelled, he made good of his deal to help teach me magic. I used to see him more often before he decided that he was going to become a magic tutor for young witches. Walt is very good with children. How have your term responsibilities been? Princess? I've been having more nightmares recently, but it's no cause for concern. Well, stop. I can see you already worrying. It's in my nature to worry about friends, you know? Walt has been helping me remember some of my lost memories, now that he's no longer cursed. With his help, I have been able to recall our previous friendship. Today is the day for celebration. You're not allowed to worry about me. But that is an order from your princess. Walt smiles as he puts a hand on his chest and bows. I have no choice but to obey then, I suppose. Our conversation turns to more light-hearted things after that. The jovial hours pass by in a blur, with the expectation of Jerry and Carlin, who are both back at the palace because of their important night duties. Everyone, with exception, everyone I know is here. It is a pleasant break to catch up with all of them. After some time, a large cake is brought floating in by Parfait. Oh, it's so pretty! It's so pretty. I think I influenced me on that pretty. Everyone in the room grows quiet as they gap at the massive size of it. The cake is 5 different layers and, without magic, would have required at least 6 people to carry. I was under the impression that this cake would be small. Oh, but it is! Lance gasps aloud as he points at the cake. His usual composure is broken completely when he waves his hand in the air, a wonder-filled smile on his face. A Burgundy top cake? I haven't had one in years. A what?
Oh, I've heard about Burgundian top cakes. They're incredibly difficult to make because of all the different layers. And the largest cakes are said to slant on account of them being so tall. You see, it is small. This one is nowhere near collapsing on itself. God is filled with pride when he tells me that he is
commissioned some of the best bakers in NGL to undertake the task of making the cake, while actual decorating was done by professional bakers. The more complex details were apparently crafted by witches. Flora herself has made the trick candles on the top, which refused to blow out, no matter how many times I huff at them. I end up turning the fire to ice to get them to stop burning. By the time everyone is done with their cake and the daylight has been replaced with swathes of gentle moonlight, the festivities are just about wrapped up for the night when Claude approached me, insisting that we return to the palace so that he can give me as his last gift. At first, I assume all of us are simply going to be teleported to the palace, but my family insists that I go on ahead of them. Father has something he wishes to discuss with Lauren Parfait, and Ophelia is in a surprisingly animated conversation with Denise, who is discussing some complicated recipes with her. I decide to head back to the palace early with Claude after saying my goodbyes to everyone. I expect my stroll through town to be leisurely, but I am surprised to see bright lights and decorations when we came into the plaza area. Specially crafted lanterns hang on the shingles of the rooftops, and the town floor is littered with both white and red flower petals. Everywhere I look, there are stalls redecorated with lilies and roses. What is all this? Celebration, obviously. The plaza is the heart of the grand festivities. Stalls are filled with games, music, and food. Everything is either lily or rustin, and everywhere I look, I see smiling faces and laughing crowds. Emily said they had wanted some way to celebrate my birthday with the town folks, but I was expecting them to distribute the drink, not all of this. There are rose petals too? Only because the rose and the lily aesthetic is a good combination, no? It has absolutely nothing to do with stealing your spotlight, I can assure you. No, of course not. I cannot stop smiling as I take the side of the town. It is beautiful at this time of night, and seeing the townfolk so immersed in all of the festivities makes me happy. Thank you, Claude. Your smile is thanks enough, love. And we both owe thanks to your family, the palace servants and those that at the Martian. I would not have been able to plan all of this without them. Once we are closer to the palace gates, and out of view of everyone else, I lean forward to plant a kiss on Claude's cheek. He blushes immediately. The endearing flush on his cheeks makes me laugh. I love you, Claude. I love you too, darling. He puts a hand to the rose locket. With all my heart. I loop my arm around his as we make our way through the gates. I plop down on my bed with a sigh. The night celebrations have gone on so long, I am more exhausted than usual. Sleep feels incredibly alluring, but I sit up as Claus enters the room with a bright smile. And here I was hoping you'd fallen asleep so I could wake you with a kiss. That will not be necessary. Claude steps forward and holds out a small box to me. It is simply wrapped with a small blue ribbon on top of it. I wonder what it could be. Claude takes a seat beside me as I unfasten the ribbon at the top and pop the box open. After getting through layers of wrapping paper, find a smaller box inside. I pop the box open carefully and stare at what I see inside. It's a matching necklace! Oh, so cute!
Because we got him a rose necklace, he did the same for us. The privilege. Oh.
This? I take the pendants and its chain out of the box carefully, trace the petals with my fingers. My eyes immediately go to the rose pendant on Claude's chest. Now we match. My fingers tighten around the little pendant. Celebration at the Martian, and for the town folks, the cake and this gift. Despite Claude's flair for dramatic, he was still able to give me so many things today without sacrificing their genuineness. You like it? No. Claude's expression falls. Then just as quickly, he looked confused when I laugh. I love it. You really do love to tease me, don't you? I put a hand on his knee and leaned forward, still gripping the pendant in my fingers. I promise to treasure it always. Thank you, Claude. Before he can say anything, I lean forward to kiss him. Our lips meet in a kiss that starts soft and then eases into something deeper. I lean into him, causing him to fall back on the bed. Oh, are in one of those moods? Not at all. I just noticed your form was lacking, so I exploited your weakness. I should know better than to let my guard down in front of my best pupil. I leaned toward him again, my lips brushing his once again, but a knock startles us both. When neither of us say anything, the knock comes again. Excuse the interruption, Princess Diana, Prince Claude. The king desires to speak with the prince in the throne room. He says it is about the celebration budget. Celebration budget? Claude rolls out from underneath me with the cheapest laugh. Alright, I suppose that is important. Calls back that he will be at the throne room shortly. The maid leaves, her footsteps echoing out of the hall. What is this about the celebration budget? Well, many of the supplies we set up in the town for your birthday celebration had to be paid for from fans. We're going to help us fund some of these too, in honor of our marriage, but I smile sheepishly. I'm afraid I have yet to explain that part to the king. I stifle as sighs as he smooths down his clothes. I'm about to wave him off when he leans down in front of me once more. He curls my fingers from around the lily pendant and holds it up. Don't mind, darling. He leans back to clasp the necklace on the back of my neck. When he pulls away, the little pendant hangs from my neck. This small weight reminds me of the glass slipper necklace I used to have in this same place. I'll see you later, Diana. The two of us say our goodbyes before he rushes from the room, leaving me alone to think on the events of today. Days pass after that, and the usual schedule begins to fall back into place. Claude has returned to his usual morning meetings with the king and his class sessions. My own schedule is composed of meetings and lessons, including magic practice with Laura and Walt. Hi, Skur, how are you? On top of all of those things, I have the lessons that I mentioned once. I'm doing okay as well. I was able to find a time during Claude's classes that worked for both Lance and I to get together. I suggested the time just past 2 in the afternoon, which is why we are both here now. Doing this when Claude is in class feels like we are doing it behind his back. I stifle aside as I watch Lance stutter over his words, but in the end I offer to help him. And because Lance was uncomfortable with Claude being here, this is the time we settle on. Focus my attention on him. Try it again, but this time look me in the eyes. His postures became stiffer as he fixed me with a solemn gaze. And so this brings me to the subject at hand, my dear people. Now we must speak of a truly momentous occasion, the crowning of the next Burgundian king. Lance's gaze is as rigid as stone. I know that this ceremony is of the utmost importance. Why are you glaring at the audience? I was glaring? You were. Lance lets out a sigh. He falls back into his chair and crosses his arms. Father has a way of making his sternness seem regal, but when I try to be serious, I end up looking too rigid. Perhaps you should work on your expression in the mirror. And I move to stand in front of him. I square my shoulders and stand as rigid as I possibly can. The posture is so uncomfortable. I am not even sure how Lance managed to stand like this for so long. This is how you were standing. You look like you are overcompensating for your lack of confidence with a formal stance. It probably does not help that you are speaking just to me. Lance sighs as he stands. Okay, I'll try it again. We have been practicing for the last 20 minutes. Lance has the lines of his speech memorized, but his still delivery is lacking. He either gets embarrassed speaking to just me, or lacks the confidence to look both dignified and at ease. Lance has just begun speaking again when the door to the dining room opens, and Claude steps inside, startling us both. Did he mean to be in the middle of a lesson right now? Claude stares between the two of us, the expression deadpan. Carmen, you're out early. How did the lesson go? It was the same as always. He begins to walk through us slowly. Something in his gaze is dark, on edge. Something wrong? He stops just beside us, his expression still rigid. I would hope not, though I'm curious what is happening here. Vivian is helping me practice my initiation speech. I'm terrible at it. The whole thing, being kingly is difficult. Claude does not respond, only continues to look at Lance with that irritation still scrawled on his face. Why is he so angry? Don't understand. Don't understand? It is an honor to be crowned the king. We have been preparing for that duty our whole lives. You've known as long as I that this honor would one day be bestowed upon us. Never once have I seen you struggle or complain. And yet, now that I am out of the picture, you suddenly flounder? Karma. Did not give up that title just so you could bring that shame to it. Lance stares at him, obviously shocked by his turn in the conversation. My surprise mirrors this. What? Both of us speak in unison. I'm disappointed in you, Lance. The anger on Claude's face is alarmingly palpable. He glares at Lance, who is looking more and more like he might succumb beneath that gaze. Ooh. Eeh. I think talking is a bad one because this is a tense climate. So I thought this was meant to be a practice session, not a lecture. Chastising someone is not assisting them, Claude. This might be their lesson, but Claude is being unnecessarily harsh. Viana, we frown at each other for a few moments. Our gaze locked, and in the end, this closet reflects and looks away first. Crap. It is not my business to say anything. Whatever problem they have between the two of them, should be worked out between them. I apologize. Why are you apologizing? What happened to your backbone? Why are you allowing me to walk all over you? Say something! Lance looks at him, distraught. Is something wrong, Karma? Something is definitely amiss, but I cannot imagine what it is. That question isn't necessary. This is about you, not me. I'm unable to withhold my opinion. Step forward, eyebrows soared. Lance was simply asking for help, and now you are angry at him for some reason. This is not about him, this is about you, isn't it? Claude? If this is about my being stressed, then I apologize. I want to do my best when giving this speech. The last thing I want to do is embarrass father. The dining hall doors open and a few servants enter, breaking apart the conversation. Lance and Claude immediately fix a smile to their faces, as if nothing has happened. We'll continue this next time, Lance. Of course. The two give each other courteous nods before Claude turns and walks away. As he passes by, he leans over and whispers into my ear. I'm sorry we had to see that, darling. I'll explain later. These are the last words he speaks before he leaves the dining hall. Not too long after he has left, I follow behind, gripping the little necklace tightly in my fingers and grumbling to myself. And just when I thought things were returning to normal. The kingdom's weight. Okay, and now we save. And we close. And change. And we send everyone to ignore me again. So the raid message is this one, and we are raiding Nomi. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone joining me today. I really appreciate it. I'll be back next week with more streams, or maybe do a random stream of A Little to the Left on Sunday. I don't know yet. I will see. There may be a gorilla stream on Sunday, maybe not. I don't know. I'll see you next week. Send love to Nomi. See you all next time. Bye bye.